Four Snaps started when I was in my end of my junior year in school. I was actually, one day, my sister walks across, the hallway in our house, and I see her like having fun, laughing on her phone, and I'm like, what are you doing? And she's like, I'm sending 4 pictures to my friend, and I'm asking her to guess what the word is based on my pictures. And I was like, that would be an amazing idea for an app. After building it, I expected it to do not so well, but it ended up doing really well. Started getting a bunch of downloads, started getting a bunch of press.
If we get lucky, then we might get lazy, so we best get busy, so we don't go crazy, baby.
The app went from 100 to 50 to 25 in the top charts, top word games, and I was like, how am I gonna handle the top 25 word games? Then after a couple days went by, somebody from Facebook contacted me. She sent me an email saying, oh, guess who wants to meet you? Mark Zuckerberg. And I'm like, what the hell? I went over there, I got to see everything. The place was awesome. It was like a Disney World, but for tech people. It's just great. We walk into that building, and you see like all the cubicles, right? Like all the little desks, right? Like all bunched up together. And then in one of the desks, I see some person just turn around, stand up quickly, and just be like, hi, Michael. And I'm like, oh my gosh, that's Mark Zuckerberg. He's like sitting in one of the little cubicles like everybody else. Like, what is this? He wasn't wearing a suit or anything. He was just wearing his hoodie and his jeans and his t-shirt and just super relaxed and just like, hi, Michael. And I'm like, oh my gosh, he knows my first name. Like, that's all I cared about at the moment. I was like, he knows my first name. That's it. I'm done. I'm happy. That's all I cared about. He basically was asking me a few questions like, oh, I love your app, I love Four Snaps, it's really cool, and everything, I love what you're doing, and I was like, oh my gosh, he knows what my app is, oh my gosh, he knows this, and like everything he would say, I'd be like just freaking out at the fact that he knew what it was.
This is going to be a different kind of F8.
It's been 3 years since Mark Zuckerberg stood on this stage. The last time, Facebook was mainly a website. Now it's all about the app. Michael Saman's known that since he built his first app. He has the most popular word game on the App Store, Four Snaps.
At the end of the summer, I basically had to decide what I'm going to do with my life, because I might get like a job offer from somewhere, or maybe I get an acquisition from Four Snaps, or maybe I decide to go to college, or it's just so many decisions to make, and it's something that like I still don't know what I'm gonna do. Bye guys, I'm gonna go to the movies. What the? No way! I was at the movie theater with my sister's friend. I got a call from California telling me, hi, we have some good news. You got the internship. And I was like, what the hell is this?
Today, talking about high-paid interns, very young interns. Tell us about this.
Now that people can teach themselves to program, it's become easier and easier to get a job. One of the people we featured, Michael Saman, who interned for Facebook this summer, he started creating apps when he was 13, just learning from tutorials, Googling things, figuring it out. And once his app had climbed the ranks in the App Store, Facebook called him up and said, hey, can we talk to you about that? How did you do that using our developer tools?
Youth has always been a driving force in Silicon Valley, and that is not something new at all. Teenagers like Max Levchin from PayPal writing code on pieces of paper because they didn't even have computers. So what stood out for me about Michael's story, what I found so compelling, is that he did what he did in a vacuum with not much support, and in Miami, which is not what you'd think of as a tech hub, and it isn't one. With little to no resources around him is pretty incredible.
You're such an example to so many kids out there. What tips would you give to them?
Well, I would basically tell them that when it comes to programming and technology, really there is no limit to what you can do. I'm not like some super genius kid that knows everything in the world. I just basically went on the internet, tried to figure out how to do something, and got it done. It's not like my applications have the most advanced programming in the world.
Would you sell tomorrow morning for $10 million?
I don't think so. Why would I say yes? I would never say, of course I'm going to sell it for $10 million. That would be a stupid answer. I would say no. I would say yes. I'll probably just find a way to change.
Michael, estás en Wikipedia.
I know. I sent you that like yesterday.
Nosotros, como todas familias que vivimos acá en Estados Unidos, comenzamos los dos de cero prácticamente, trabajando muy duro.
Hemos tenido buenas inversiones, hemos hecho buenas cosas.
Y a él le encantaba, él o era Mercedes o era BMW, ¿sí o no? Y me malacostumbró a mí, porque lo bueno es lo que más rápido se aprende.
A ver qué hay acá. Acá tengo tapes, fotos y videos y fotos y fotos y videos y fotos y fotos. En mi casa yo hacía estos cumpleaños. Me acuerdo, botábamos la casa por la ventana. Nos gastamos $10.000. Fácil. De pronto todo cayó con la recesión, nos tocó bien fuerte y nos tumbó.
I started making money off my apps as soon as I got my first app on the store. More money than I've ever wanted to get. I mean, initially I just wanted to get like $100 a month or $50 a month or something, and it just became something way more than I could have ever imagined. But then little by little I started realizing that my parents, like their situation in the house and everything hasn't exactly been the best economically. We lost our house like a few years ago, and I've had to help my parents find a new place to be. We managed to use my money for that and to help paying some of my parents' debt, some of their credit card bills, some of like the house mortgage, the rent for my parents' small business, lawyers for my parents, my lawyer, my sister's tuition, my tuition. It's definitely enough to cover all of that stuff. So it's been great.
Si Michael no hubiera logrado todo lo que logró, hubiéramos tenido que ir de regreso para Perú, ¿no? Ir a vivir en casa de mis padres.
He's clearly taken the burden of that onto his shoulders, and he's so scared about selling his app, about somehow just making enough money to help the people he loves get by. And so the disparity between that and the fact that some Peruvian camera crew is flying up from Peru, probably costing like, half the amount of money that would, pay off his high school tuition, to follow him around because he's like already the success story at the age of 17, to me strikes me as such a strange disparity, and I can't imagine how weird it must be to live in his skin.
I got to Peru, it was crazy. I see the TV people and I was like, oh my gosh, like what the hell? Why are the TV people in the airport? I came here to Peru to go speak at a conference called the Web Congress. Everybody that was sitting down in the audience of this like ran down to try and get a picture with me. With me. They were taking me everywhere. They would ask me like, oh, do you have a girlfriend? And like, how's that? How's everything? Like they would try to put like celebrity gossip into my life. Like, I'm not a celebrity. Like, this is crazy. And got to make ceviche. All of this was for like this TV show. This weekend, I'm leaving to San Francisco for Apple's WWDC conference. A lot of people I've seen take pictures of Tim Cook. That's what I want. No, look at the line. How many people?
They're like mid.
Oh, we're good. No, they're not.
Wait, we're like mid.
We're good. We're good. Now I'm gonna check your games. This WWDC is only for us. Like nobody else knows. Last night was dark, cold, long night.
Yeah.
So it was a long, dark, cold night. One of those things where I'll do it for once a year, but that's it. I'm not gonna do this again. Oh my God.
Good morning. Good morning.
Welcome to San Francisco. We're here today and all week to celebrate the developer community and all of the amazing apps that they've created. Our youngest developer in the audience today is 13.
Who are these crazy kids with their insane apps and they're, ditching not going to college because they were too busy working on their apps and attending conferences and networking and meeting tech tycoons to finish like algebra or whatever.
112 overall. Chase, I will get you.
Honestly, that's
eBay, I will get you.
Here, one sec. Let me take a look.
Number one word game again. Woo!
There's 1.3 million applications in the store, and my app reached the top 20 while it was Apple's Worldwide Developer Conference. I surpassed Pinterest and Candy Crush and LinkedIn and Twitter, Vine, and everything you can think of that isn't Facebook, Instagram, and anything else on top of me at that point. How could I be more popular than Twitter, even if it was only for a day? I feel like at Facebook, I'm going to be surrounded by the people who not only make apps, but that are way smarter than me and that are so much more advanced in that kind of thing. I feel like I'm going to have to learn to keep up with them. But at the same time, it'll be like the same pack, right? The same type of people. They all love to code. They all love to make apps. Basically like a one big reunion of all the people that make apps. And now just being here at Facebook, it's like even crazier, right? Like just running around everywhere, getting to meet people. It's insane.
Happy birthday to you. In Windy, San Francisco. Happy birthday, dear Michael.
The fact that I'm 18 and being in San Francisco and getting so close to the end of my internship at Facebook is like everything's coming together at once. It's so exciting. Many people have warned me that I'm not going to go to college. At first I was like, that's ridiculous. I have to go to college. I need to do this, I need to do that. And now it feels like that might not be the case. I might not be going to college this fall. The last week at Facebook is definitely stressful in terms of like, that's when I'm supposed to find out whether or not I get an offer.
When do you hear officially?
Next week. Sometime next week. I have no idea.
Tension building.
Tension building? Yes. A lot of tension building.
I didn't feel it. But it's your birthday, so don't think about it now.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Where's my phone? Okay. Are you ready to hear it? It's,
Estoy nerviosa y no te entiendo nada en inglés, peor todavía.
Okay, bueno, ya te lo digo en español entonces, pero I got the offer.
¿Qué cosa?
¿Te aceptaron?
Yes, I got it.
¿Lo aceptaron?
Sí. Ay, no lo puedo
Oye,
creer.
te felicito, Michael Lily.
Gracias. Justo salí con el recruiter. It's incredible. I have a starting bonus for when I sign, and then I have another starting bonus 30 days after. And I have equity and my paycheck and everything. It's incredible. Oh my
Michael,
gosh.
te felicito. Estamos súper orgullosos de ti.
She was telling me how I'm the youngest, when I sign, I'm gonna be the youngest full-time employee at Facebook.
Ay, no, hijito, no lo puedo creer.
Por ahora, no universidad.
No. Bueno, acá vamos a hablar de esa parte de la universidad, hijito. Ok, un besito. Love you. Bye.
Love you. Chao.
Oh my God. No lo puedo creer.
Now, it's no longer that I have to support my family, but now I have to support myself as well.
Hemos hablado que ya nos ayudó cuando tenía que ayudarnos. Ya ahora le toca a él ver por él mismo.
It was kind of tough to talk about it, but I think it was handled well, so that's good.
Prácticamente él ya va por su propia cuenta, ya él baila solo.
What I have to think about now is just what I love to do, working on my apps, and that's it. There's no more having to worry about anything, so I can have that stability and not have to worry about it anymore, which is incredibly great. Knowing the past 4 years, all I've been thinking about is that. The end.